All right, we should be live. Yes, we are. Welcome back to the Ad Lib Podcast. It's been ages since we last streamed. Guys, there's some feedback I can hear in the background. I think someone can. I can hear my voice as I speak.
Yeah,
Um,
Mar,
Yes.
Mar, I think your headphones are not.
Because I can hear feedback whilst I speak. Damn. Anyways, so hello.
No, they are connected. All of a sudden, I'm hearing myself now, which is strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, let's start, guys, because we're live. So, hello, everyone. Hello, all viewers and listeners of the Ad Lib Podcast. Like I was saying, it's been a while since we streamed. It's been like 3 weeks, I believe. But it's good to be back. And with me, of course, is Mr. Franco Rizzo. Hello, Mr. Franco. How's it going?
Hello. It's been a long time. We are also live on Twitch. Hello, Twitchers.
Hello.
Long time no see.
To all of
The,
Franco's
the
Twitch
two
viewers.
the two loyal viewers that I have. Hello from Scotland. We have Denley Thalba as well from Scotland, speaking Maltese, telling us "Illel tayyeb, kif inti?" Love from Scotland. I'm doing good. We needed a quick break from streaming. I do miss it. I do miss the yapping. And we're gonna yap today, a full solid hour of yapping, reviewing the movies from the April Fool's Short Film Festival, together with the second place winner, Marisabelle Grech.
Exactly. Hello, Marisabelle. How's it going?
Hey, I am muted myself now. Hi, guys. Very happy to be here, and I'm so excited to speak about the movies of my. I can say we are going to be speaking about the movies of my friends as well, and very beautiful work, including Franco as well. Franco, you had your own movie included.
Yeah.
So-
It's fun, it's fun. It's fun.
So.
But it's good to be here. So what we'll do, guys, we'll start off by talking just a little bit about what we've been up to in the past few, weeks, I guess, now, since we haven't streamed in a while. Then, Marisabelle, you wanted to talk about your most recent film. And after that, we can get straight into the reviews. I think that's how the plan for today is. But before we start, Franco, was there anything you wanted to ask me?
Yes, there's always this question in my mind, and I still don't get it every single episode. But what is the Ad Lib Podcast all about?
So, good question. The Ad Lib Podcast is all about movies, all about series, and, well, I'm not even going to try and say it's about video games anymore, because it really isn't anymore. We haven't talked about video games in like...
anymore.
We can mention years now at this point.
Listen. Even though I'm not a gamer, there have been some nice games coming out. Kazan, the last Berserker, or the first Berserker, I forgot. There's South of Midnight, looks amazing. So there's quite a few games going on. By the way, I have to chill a bit on Twitch because Twitch serves ads to people outside of Malta. So there's an ad coming in 2 minutes. If you want to avoid it, either subscribe, give the subscription for $6 or for free via Twitch Prime, or tune into the YouTube. And also leave us comments, guys. We have many people. How many viewers are there on the YouTubes?
On YouTube right
12
now, I
watching
think...
right now.
Yeah. Let's go.
Say hi and tell us that our opinions are shit.
Yes, or trash. I
Drop
said
a
trash.
message
Yes.
so we can include it in the conversation.
Yes.
Man.
Shall we start with you, Marisabelle? What have you been up to the past few weeks?
Well, to be honest with you, after the movie and after April Fool's, I'm taking a bit of a break. I think we all need a moment of recollection, and that's really it. I've been dealing with my own personal stuff going on, which I have put on the shelf while I was working on the movie. So we can jump right into the movie if you like.
Yeah, sure. You want to talk about your film, Filkas? And then me and Franco will talk about our own stuff? Go for
Let's
it.
do let's do a bit of plugging first before we get to
Yes.
Marisabelle's movie.
Yes. So, let me start off with
First
this.
plug. Sorry for the flashbang. Chow Chow is streaming. Streaming. Oh my god. Oh shit. So sorry for the flashbang. Chow Chow is on the embassy showing if you don't want popcorn stuffed all over your face, all over your head, go watch Chow Chow. It's a local movie done by Keith Tedesco, who we also reviewed his film Ouya. Is doing quite good apparently. People are loving it. I'm going to watch it myself tomorrow, finally, at the embassy, and then it will start its run on St. James Cobbler. So please make sure you check it out in the cinemas. All right.
Yeah.
And
Shout out
next
number
up,
1 and shout out number 2, of course. Video Nasties 2025 is coming. As Bruce said, it's back from the dead. Make sure to participate. It's a great festival. I love always being part of it. Malta's Horror Film Challenge and Festival returns for the 5th edition. 5th edition? Hostia.
5th already?
Man.
Wow.
5th edition. How long have you been participating, Marisabelle, in Video Nasties? No.
Since 2023
Yes.
and
okay.
or 2022 as well. Yes, I did. I produced a short for the 2022 one, and then from 2023 I started directing.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. And yes, we have drinks on the 3rd of May. I don't know if I'll be able to come, but Bruce is organizing drinks.
Wait, 3rd of May?
3rd of May, yes. 3rd May, Saturday, 3rd May. The Crafty Cat. Where's that? Crafty Cat.
Crafty Cat in Gzira, if I'm not mistaken. No, Slima.
Slima. So yeah, drinks at Crafty Cat on the 3rd. Definitely will be a blast. I always have fun at these nasties drinks. Yeah, and
So,
the
in the
Ambush
meet-
is live. Guys, go watch the Ambush. I really enjoyed the Ambush.
Oh,
I reviewed it.
live on YouTube, right?
Yes. It's available on YouTube. Yeah, it's available on YouTube. Go and watch it. It's on John Carbonara's YouTube channel. Yeah.
So in the meantime, I'm putting up all the shorts on my stream so that you can have a bit of a preview.
Yeah. In the meantime, Franco, what have you been up to the past few days?
Touching lots of grass. Still working on the union to make sure that the creatives in Malta are protected. We will start having now individual meetings, so please keep an eye out. Secondly, I've been to Gozo. Haven't been to Gozo in 5 years, so that was a really good break. I enjoyed that break a lot. And I've been watching lots and lots of noirs. I've watched Detour. I've watched what else did I watch recently? The Third Man. I really love the soundtrack of The Third Man.
SpongeBob SquarePants soundtrack.
Oh, really?
No, it's not. It doesn't sound like it. But last time I was doing with Christian, I was doing a soundtrack challenge where you had to guess what the name of the movie is by listening to the music. And like the Third Man soundtrack came up, and I'm like, wait, that's SpongeBob. No. And then it was the Third Man.
Oh wow! Shame on you.
I love the Third Man now. I love the Third Man. And Orson Welles in it is like, I don't know if it's a spoiler to say there's Orson Welles in it, but his appearance is one of the best ever. Like one of the best ever reveals. Like just the use of light in that scene is chef's kiss.
So I'm checking again what I logged on my letterbox. So if you want to follow us on Letterbox, my letterbox is Maltese Falcon 87. Let me see what I watched. Oh, I watched The Monkey. I watched Night of the Demon. By the director is Jacques Tourneur, if I'm not mistaken. I still prefer Cat People to it. I also watched I Walked with a Zombie. Still prefer Cat People to it. In the Mouth of Madness by John Carpenter. It's a very interesting movie. Electric State. I'm gonna yap about it big time in a coming stream because that was such a disappointment for me. Detour. It does what it says on the can. It's a very interesting. It was a very interesting. What you call it? Noir. Heart Eyes enjoyable. I really enjoyed Heart Eyes, being like it harks back to the Scream era of horror movies.
Okay.
I also watched Black Sabbath. not as a big of a fan as Blood and Black Lace by Mario Bava, who is the originator. They call him the originator of Italian Giallo. Very colorful horror movies and thrillers. The Third Man, as I said, and Inferno as well. Like this, that is my my review over here says the colorful cinematography is there, but is a minor key Argento, not as operatic as I've expected it. And I look forward to finally crack open Suspiria, because I haven't seen Suspiria in quite a while.
You're gonna love Suspiria, the colors, man, in that film.
Yeah, I love the. I mean, if you'll notice in my movie, I also use those same colors. So now you know the. So just a second.
Yeah,
and now you know, like where I get my influences from,
inspiration.
and that's it.
Yes,
exactly.
In my case, I've watched a few films, but I haven't been logging them on Letterboxd, to be honest. I've been writing them on Facebook recently, but I've been watching a lot of Commedia all'Italiana, because we have a lecture about that after the holidays, and I never really got into this kind of whole film movement of Commedia all'Italiana. So I've been trying to catch up on a few examples, and I started off with this, An American in Rome. It's bloody hilarious. This scene when he's like, "Io sono Americano, I am an American," and he's like, "No, I don't eat the pasta. I eat the bread." He's the bread with the milk. He mixes it with the milk, and it's just a hilarious scene. And then he's like, "Macaroni to my provocato, e io ti distruggo." And then he eats the pasta when he notices how shit the bread is. Marisabelle.
Andrea, have you watched any of Verdone's movies?
Carlo Verdone.
Don't
Yes.
know. Let me see.
He's a classic. Yeah, there's a huge list of movies of his. Like, if you like Italian movies of that era, particularly Verdone is really, really good. It's a must watch.
I don't think so.
Like,
Not
there's
familiar.
one called Bianco Rosso Verdone.
Yes.
You have a lot.
Yes, I mean the only film I've watched here. I'm guessing he doesn't appear in it. Does he appear in it? La Grande Bellezza, because I don't remember.
He does appear in it. Yes.
I forgot. Completely forgot.
He's of that era. Yes.
Yes, but no. I'm telling you, this is a movement that I completely like have watched nothing. I've been watching a few now. So I watched. If I go down, because I had my birthday, so my Facebook is all.
Yes, a belated happy birthday to Andrea, by the way. So please,
yes,
flood the comments with happy birthdays.
Thank you.
And hello, Bruce, by the way.
Hello, Bruce.
Bruce said, "Hey, let's go." Bruce, the organizer of Video Nasties.
So yes, American in Rome. I watched this Guardia Ladri. Oh, this is so hilarious and very touching as well. Very touching film, Guardia Ladri. And I watched a few others. We also had a lecture on Buñuel, so I rewatched a couple of Buñuel's as well. I love Buñuel. His films just really do it for me. They
actually remastered, if I'm not mistaken, Criterion remastered L. His movie called EL.
Yes. I haven't. That's one I haven't watched. That's one of his Mexican period, right? In the 60s, I think. No, his Mexican period. I haven't watched too many, but I've watched all his all the European ones, all his early ones, and all his later ones, like The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, and then, you know.
I need to rewatch them, because I was quite a big fan of Buñuel myself. Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. He's got also what's her name with Catherine Deneuve. Not Diary of a Chambermaid. Welcome to my 40s, where I don't remember the names. Let's go on.
Tell me about it, man. My memory has been.
Franco, how old are you?
I'm 38 too.
Allora 40s, you're still not there.
Yeah, it's 2 years to go. Belle de Jour.
Oh, that's one of the most beautiful films I've ever watched. Talking about
Phantom
colors, man, the colors in Belle de Jour. Oh, so beautiful. He has
Phantom
some beautiful
Liberty.
films. And then he makes Los Olvidados, which
Yes.
really blew my mind how different it is to a lot of his other material. Like this film, Los Olvidados, is incredible. Marisabelle, what happened to you? Did you go to space?
I'm here.
No, because your camera is all green.
Really?
Yeah.
I see myself. I don't know what
But we
happened.
can't see you. There we go.
Oh,
That's good.
okay, I can see. Okay.
Okay, it was a glitch.
Yeah.
Jace is asking for Mars. We have Snickers here. Sorry, no Mars here.
Hello, Simon. So,
Because Simone's nickname for me is Mars. So, and her son and I, we're friends because basically when we were on the shoot together, we made friends. He's so cute.
it's
Yes,
good.
yes.
It's good. It's good. I can imagine. And we've also got John, Nicholas Jackman, and Mike West all saying hi from set. So YouTube should update it from
nice.
14 to 17 viewers since we've got like 3 more there.
Hey,
Oh,
let's
no.
go. Let's go. Let's go,
Anyways,
guys.
shall we go and
And hi to Simone as well.
Of course, definitely.
Yes.
Marisabelle, shall we start with your film? I think we can start with your film. Tell us a little bit about the process behind it, and then we can comment about it. So here.
Hello,
of course,
Jean-Louis.
We're
Sure.
talking about where is it?
Not just coffee.
I'm trying to find the whole list. Oh, yours was the
Speed
last one.
data.
No, just
By the
there
way,
we go.
before when you asked me what I've been doing lately, I thought you literally asked me what I've been doing in terms of movie-related stuff, not watching movies. So I didn't tell
no.
you what I was watching.
So what have you been watching then?
I have done a mix of rewatching old stuff and also first time watches. Rewatching was Armageddon, to the point that I forgot I had watched it. But then I
Illallo.
rewatched it. Like, yeah, I watched this one. And then My Greek Wedding. It's really good
bitch.
one. I really love that.
Illa
one.
huwa
It's so
my big
funny.
fat Greek wedding. I was
Yeah,
gonna
that one.
go. Don't close my eyes. Hey, Andrea, continue it.
Bro, I watched that when I was like 12 or 13, so my memory of that is nothing. I remember watching it in a hotel in Gozo. We used to go to the Grand Hotel in Gozo, and they used to have this cinema in that hotel. And I remember watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding with my parents.
It's such a nice movie. I watched it yesterday, and I think it's like over 10 years passed since I watched it, so it felt like watching it for the first time again. And you'll have a laugh. It's such a laugh. And then first time movies, as in watching for the first time. An old one was Trainspotting 1. I know, shame. I didn't watch it before, but I really enjoyed watching because it was very well made, even though sad, very sad. Then new Captain America: Brave New World.
Okay, what do you think about that? What is that?
I enjoyed it, but maybe I'm a bit. I prefer the previous Captain America.
Yeah, 100%.
That's me.
100%.
Yeah.
Me too. I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it. I have to be honest. Like, not at all did I enjoy it. Like, thought it was very bland.
Then
wasn't horrible, but not great either.
yeah, and then there's this question about the Red Hulk, because he looks like a Red Hulk. The president was this new character.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. So, anyways, and then I watched a very cool movie called Sisu. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched that. Yes.
The Finnish one.
Yes,
I haven't watched it.
Wow, I recommend it. Very well made, and the cinematography is so beautiful. It's the kind of movie that you watch it and you just enjoy having watched it. One, the writing is so good, not because there's a lot of dialogue. There isn't a lot of dialogue, but it is written in such a way that it makes sense. Everything makes sense, and I have Finnish friends, and they're not the talkative type too much, and it makes sense. I mean, it's Finnish and Germans at the end of the day that are part of the story. And so it's all contextual, all it makes sense. And if you want to describe it in one sentence, yes, you can call it like the Finnish version of a John Wick. But in a way, I kind of prefer it more. Not because John Wick isn't good, but because this is a totally different beast, and I loved it. So yeah.
I think Bruce would agree with you. I think Bruce finds the John Wick films just a little too bloated. This is not bloated. This is 1 hour 30 minutes, very lean, very, and the action was really well made. The action was fantastic.
Super.
The mines scene. Oh no, my camera. The mine scene was so good. I think that was my favorite part of the film. The mine scene. I really enjoyed. Oh god, there we go. The mine scene. That was definitely my favorite part of the film. Yeah, I would recommend it as well. I give it a 3 out of 5. I remember I was very harsh on this film. It's been a while now.
Really?
Yes, I give this a 3 out of 5. So
No, you said I remember both you and Joe being quite a bit underwhelmed. Hey, Malta Pop, what's up, guys?
hello, Ash.
Hey.
Actually, guys, I think we have to wrap it up and continue on the reviews
Yes,
because
let's get into the
this is what happens. This is the beauty of the live. whenever we have about movies, exactly.
Tangents.
So.
Mela, not just coffee.
Question.
Marisabelle,
Yes.
what was the experience like?
Well, it was a very interesting experience. Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't planning on shooting a movie on making a movie for this one because I work, university, doing a master's myself right now, and life in general was busy. And then something happened personally. I'm not going to go into details, but basically I ended up with some free time. So you end up with I had a setback, and I was like, okay, what can I do in this situation? And I had some stories which I had drafted already. And one of them, I looked at it and I was like, I see myself doing it, making this movie. And so I had a conversation with who I needed to speak with in terms of team. And I was like, okay, do you think it's possible? Can we do it? And that's how it happened, really, literally, because we had this conversation. I continued updating the script. The script was developed quite a bit. I had, I think, like more than 10 versions of it until we finished to the final. And then the final one wasn't even the final that you see on the movie, because I left some room for improvisation. And Luke, the DOP and editor and sound mixer, he was an integral part of the team, in the sense that not only when I went to look at the locations, he was there to check it from a DOP point of view. And he also went to check some locations without me on a particular day. So I really appreciate it when you are such a small team and you have such a tight deadline, and you have team members which are willing to do, to support and to do their work and to give their help. Then it makes everything even more possible to happen. And then when we came to the day, the cast was great. I had a situation with the casting that, someone fell through. I had to do the casting call on Facebook and on different groups. And in fact, that's how I found the main character, the main actor. And he's not someone that I knew before. It's someone that came through the casting call. And the reality of the situation is I need someone with a British accent, because that's how I imagined it when I wrote the script. And that was like a non-negotiable that I had. I need this guy to have a British accent. And when he applied and I saw his, application, basically, I was like, yes, this is the one. And then when it came to the shooting day, everything went smoothly. It was a real pleasure to be working with such a good team, because we were a skeleton casting crew and everything worked.
Good stuff.
All right. By the way, Bernard Satariano also saying, hey, watching for a few minutes from Spain. Hola, Bernardo.
Viva la España.
Hola, Bernardo.
Hola, Bernardo. What's winner? Vincitor?
Adiós. El vencedor del premio del mejor actor.
Mejor actor, yes.
Adios Bernardo u burħudu fax Spanja tiegħek. Andale.
Good stuff. Andale. We're going to talk a lot about Bernard today.
True.
Yes.
We live. I really love that quip you made. We live in his universe, Bernard Satarian.
In the BCU.
BS ECU exactly.
Exactly.
Shall we start with comments, Mela? Franco, what do you think?
So comments. I really like the cinematography.
Yes,
Wait,
I
what's
agree
happening?
completely.
Okay, so the cinematography is great. Look, well done. He also edited it. You said right?
Yes.
What's happening? Sorry, I'm listening to many voices.
Sorry, I had some feedback behind me, so I muted myself.
Okay, noise. It's the video nasties already happening. So, really love the cinematography. Your actor pulled through. Marisha, there's no saying. She looks great on camera, and there's also Daniel Diacono. I think we're also gonna have the Daniel Diacono extended universe now as well. He's just. To be honest, I'd love to see him now taking on a serious role, because obviously he's playing a lot to his strengths, both as appearance and as far as improvisation goes. Now, don't get me wrong, Marisabelle. In my opinion, my best three films were different, but we can obviously. I think it's better if we speak privately about this. There was a bit of an issue with the way the story resolved itself, because all of a sudden there's lots of chaos, and it was a bit disorienting because the story was going between the two people, and I remember you telling me that the ending was different, that it was supposed to happen before the credits when she goes up and shows the condom.
That was after. So we continued the ending after the final name because we wanted it to be like a still or like a short clip, basically.
After the credits, you mean like?
Not after the credits, within the credits. Then you can say because the title comes up and then Marisha comes up.
Let's hold on a second. Because I am a bit confused. So not just coffee.
Because she's searching for a tissue, and by mistake she brings something up.
Yeah, it's after. Yes, you're right. It's after the.
After the title.
It's after the title. I would have. There is a bit of not being. I'm not sure whether the focus was more onto the nice shot. I just clicked back and see her holding the condom. So
that was improvised, I have to say.
It's good. I would, because I was seeing that the storyline was going that this guy is feeling all anxious and like he's gonna make fun of himself. He's gonna make a fool of himself. And it was fighting between the story of the guy not being supposed to be there and the story between the couples. So I think we have to, unfortunately, sometimes we have to sacrifice some of the storyline. So which storyline takes more importance, the couples or the bartenders? It could have been like. Okay, go for it. Sorry.
So the idea behind it was, imagine you are trying to speak with a girl that you like and you don't know her, and you have a friend who's like your wingman who's to try and help you. Now the scenario is different here because the bartender and Ben, they're not friends, but at the same time, what the barista does, he's the opposite of a wingman. He's the person who is causing him the problem when he's speaking with the girl. So we have this dynamic going on here, that the couple, they're trying to connect, and we have the opposite of a wingman being the problem between them.
No,
That was the idea.
No, that came true, but again from us. Then Andrea let you make the comments. But I could see what was happening, but all of a sudden it's like that the focus was taken all over by Daniel's character of him saying that I'm not even supposed to be here. It's like, oh, whoa, what? Wait. So is this the story of the couple getting closer together and showing that even Marisha's character is a bumbling fool, so to speak, or was it that the guy who was basically blocking what was his name, Alex? Sorry.
Ben, Barista, and Marisha.
Okay, so Ben's character being always blocked by the barista. I would have, like I said, I would have focused it a bit. It is an issue with improvisation. I want to speak about, in fact, with Multipops film as well, where basically you have to see which storyline has to because that's how I've seen it. I don't know what Andrea wants to say, basically.
Okay, so in my opinion, I thought cinematography-wise, great, really good stuff. I think it's well shot. Very well composed shots as well. You can
Amazing,
see
yeah.
basically, like there was this one scene where I stopped. It was perfect. I wish I could find it again. Where you can literally see every single character and what's going on screen and see all the important characters. Brilliant stuff. So really well, if I had to give a best cinematography nod after Cece's film, I think yours would be definitely in the running. I think Cece's film was like impeccably shot.
I loved Cece's movie, and I also loved the cinematography of Cece. And it's a nice thing. I will let Luke know that you just said that.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know if I don't know if I saw him after. I saw him before. I don't know if I told him after. But yes, I thought the cinematography was fantastic. Really well shot. I mean, Luke does very good work, and you do very good work as well. Because your cinematography in your first short was also really well done. So
Yes.
So I enjoy the work you do. Like I told you when I first met you, Marisabelle, I think the very first time I met you, I had told you like your work behind the camera is very good. Like you really have an eye for shots. Like all these shots,
Thank
the
you.
composition for these shots, really well done. Like exceptional.
I have to say, in this one, look, I was with him because in this one I didn't act, so I was fully behind the scenes,
Yes.
working with him. At the same time, I also gave Luke the DOP free reign as well, because I didn't want to micromanage. But we worked well because everyone shared their ideas, and then we all worked to our 40, basically, and to the direction of the idea of the story that we wanted.
Yes, and when you've got talented people working with you, I think that's the best solution, to be honest. I don't know what Franco thinks about this.
There was just one comment about the cinematography where I would have done that once Ben and Marisha were getting closer. I wouldn't have kept there was an over the shot shoulder where Marisha still appeared distant from Ben.
This one? No.
Let me check. I think it's this reverse shot, if I'm not mistaken. The reverse. Yeah. You see. Go back. Forward, more forward.
Oh no! I'm hearing what you're seeing something.
Because I'm seeing the delay. By the way, hello, Iacha. Doing Texas at the very last second. Good luck. I hope you get some tax back.
But anyways, Franco, it's never going to work because of the delay.
Yeah, no, but I admit I have to see the movies again and like focus on them. But I remember there was a shot where like, wait, they're getting closer. The shot I would have done it. Where basically they're closer together.
Yes, fair enough. Narratively, what I wanted to say, Marisabelle, was this whole chaos scene. I agree with Franco. Felt a little jarring, to be honest. I really enjoyed the whole awkward sequence between the two, and how they kind of start to work together, and you could feel the chemistry growing between the two. And then suddenly, like, all hell let loose. Nick Jackman was hilarious. His face was absolutely hilarious. But I didn't really get why the chaos. Why suddenly the chaos? Why did you go for that, Marisabelle? Narrative beats wise.
Bella, we wanted the movie to end with a bang, really and truly, so that we managed to end it in a way that was cohesive. Now, and also that adds to the comedy, because that's what we wanted to add to with a bang comedy. And I initially thought, okay, how can we do this? And I thought, okay, so we have Ben, the main character, who's adding the storyline, the fact that he has an off day, he's a bit awkward today, and he is trying to attract this girl. The barista is coming in the way. The girl at first says, "Don't talk to weird guys who look at you too much," and he starts to not be interested or get, like trying to look away because he doesn't want to be the one who's seen to be staring at her. So they all had their elements, and the barista, while he had his funny moments, I wanted his moment to shine. And that is when he came back, and while I gave him, for example, I told him what to do in terms of, okay, do something along these lines, but then what the final creation, Daniel made it happen, and we all saw it. And while we were there, it just made sense because, okay, we're having this barista who just went AWOL. He has had enough serving this guy who apparently is giving him trouble just because he's undecisive. And he made it his personal mission for that day to give him misery for the day. And it just made sense that there's this character who's just like the Zach Galifianakis type, because that was what the barista was written after as well. And we're having this guy who's just going AWOL and finally is like, I don't give a fuck, and moves and does what he does, And you wouldn't expect any barista in their right sense of mind to spit on your table, It's just because you dropped your coffee beforehand. So that was the idea behind it.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
So if I would, so just to let you know, from Yena to this one, this story-wise, it's slowly improving, but again, I still feel that there's a bit of a clash. It could have been interesting to see, because we've seen a meet cute before. We've seen lots of meet cutes. It would have been interesting if the focus would be of this guy. Cheers, Ashley. There was a bit of an issue with sound. If the focus would have been like Daniel, and they say like, what the hell, which makes them more get closer even more. Like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, and if Marisha was a regular in the cafe, it's like, I haven't seen him before. I think he's new, Mm-hmm. And then would have been made even more sense that when he goes like, I don't even work here. I'm like, what? And that's.
Yeah.
But it's keep improving on it, because again, just you have to be more how should I say, hypercritical, not too much obviously of the work, and say, okay, where is the story going? Is it going this way or this way? If it goes both ways, it can get a bit disorienting. But otherwise, keep going up, keep improving, and again, well done for the award as well.
Thank you. To add to what you're saying is that they did connect a little bit. I mean, you don't see it much maybe, but it continues through the credits, because we kept with the small pieces. Like, in fact, at one point in time, you see Ben as if he's cleaning behind himself, and he's like saying, I don't even like this place, or let's go somewhere else, you know. And like this, you see this that it continues, like you're saying, that they're connecting. Having said that, I also see what your point, that it could have improved, that it could have had more work. Don't forget, this is a project that was done kind of very last minute, in like 3 week stops.
Last
you
minute.
know,
I see what you see.
last minute. Yeah, I mean, it was done in 3 weeks. The idea, the writing was there, but then the actual progressing of it was done with condensed in 3 weeks, and you can't expect a certain quality when it comes to that short amount of time.
No. I mean, we're obviously we understand
Yeah.
about this stuff. Like,
yeah, and at the same time, I'm pleased that considering the time restraint we have and everything, we pulled through in terms of collaborating together, and we made something, and that something is something that's enjoyable, and that's what we wanted at the end of the day.
Good stuff. Shall we move on, guys? Because we have 9 more and we don't have a lot of time.
9 more. Okay. We have Joa.
Let's start with Bruce's, because that's the first one that came up. Sound of swiping.
Sound of swiping.
And this one, the best reaction, right?
Yes.
And I think deservedly so. It's hilarious, very well produced, brilliantly shot. I think even the lighting is really well done. Oh no, YouTube's gonna block us. We show that scene.
Yeah, don't. I'm taking care of the TOS.
They took down my camera, see?
I'm taking care of the TOS myself.
There was a lot of TOS in this April Fool. Oh my God.
No, don't.
Yeah, let's just stick here. Let's just stay here.
Yeah, careful what you show.
There was a lot of TOS in this.
Who shot this? Because he also shot the out of competition video Nasty, and was amazing. So let me check and skip ahead.
Malcolm Camilleri did the cinematography.
Yes. Also, he also did the editing. Assistant director Mike West. First off, well done to all. Yeah, Madonna, where's the
Grinder hookup?
This was such a good movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the concept that Bruce was going for, I mean, there's not much I can add to it. Like,
no, it's
he did what he wanted to do. I mean, the whole concept. I love the whole concept. It's hard the issue with a short film challenge is, how do you put this up against, for example, Cece's film or yours, Marisabelle? It's 2 completely different concepts, so it's very hard to put them up against each other.
I missed that. So yes, cinematography by Malcolm Camilleri. Malcolm Camilleri, who also did the alien invasion video Nazis. I had said that I really want to work with him because his cinematography is great, and this one is also great. The cinematography was great, and even with the graphics and everything, it just hit. It's just hit.
Marisabelle, if you can mute whilst you're not speaking, because we can hear a lot of feedback in the background. Thank you.
Okay, cheers.
Franco, you were saying?
No, it's a genuine blast. Obviously, I understand him. Him getting the best audience reaction was good. Otherwise, he would have won was film, but it cannot be that Bruce always wins best movie as well. What do you think, Andrew? I
think it could easily have won best film, in my opinion.
For
the concept that Bruce was going for, definitely.
For me, it was between this and World's End, as well.
Interesting. All right.
Why you don't agree?
No. For me, yours was the best film.
No.
For me, yours was the best film.
I disagree. And even Bernard said, and I agree with Bernard, that his acting in World's End was better than in mine. And I have to agree.
I preferred yours. No. And I'm not saying this because I'm your friend. Like, what was the last one? Last Video Nasties. I hadn't voted for yours as best film. Like this time, I genuinely found yours, like performance-wise, the funniest, in my opinion. But again, humor is very subjective in a sense. What I find, and even just the setting, like I always say in every film challenge, watching a film alone and watching it with a crowd, like, not even comparable. Completely different experience. Not better, funnier. Yes. Not better, funnier.
Okay.
Yes.
But I see what Bernard meant as well. But anyway, as in what? Sorry, come again, because I was watching my ADHD. Simone is right. I have ADHD. I have to agree because I was. What did you say? So I know you didn't vote for my movie in Video Nasties. We'll agree later. I find you in Hans Laffy and I'll do a Video Nasty with you. No, what were you saying, by the way?
But Clairvoyant was my favorite film with regard to.
All right.
In general, Clairvoyant was my favorite film. Like definitely the one I loved the most at home. I laughed a lot with the Clairvoyant.
Okay, that's...
Like then live.
I really enjoyed it as well.
Go for it, Marisabelle.
Clairvoyant.
Wait, let's focus on Sound of Swiping, but
Yes. No, I don't think there's much to add. I mean, Bruce had a concept. Perfectly, but he really, produced this short as well as he could, in my opinion. And
in 2 minutes, it's one of the shortest that I think I've seen so far, and in 2 minutes,
it works.
Banger after banger. So it's like this was one that left me crying with laughter. So well done, Bruce. Keep it up. Malcolm Camilleri, he's a great discovery, I think, as far as cinematography goes. It's really interesting, by the way, guys, because it is something I don't like with lighting that many people I'm noticing are using. I call them interview lighting, but in this one it worked. But then because I'm more into like natural, and obviously when it's time for natural lighting. I think yours. Did you have any external lights, Marisabelle?
So not really. No, we used natural lighting.
Natural light, and it comes.
It works. It works. I think it works.
Yes.
Sometimes what you need is it's called a negative fill, where basically you have just a blackboard to increase a bit more the contrast from on the shadow side. You see on Ben's face.
We managed because the place didn't have sunlight directly facing it all the time. Like it just made sense because
very well diffused. Yes.
Yes, exactly. That's it. So we were lucky. Lucky.
And like I said, if it helps for contrast, sometimes a negative fill, but again, it's something that I've been noticing recently. Like I said, it doesn't diminish it. I'm being very freaking nitpicky.
Franco, on this, I would agree with you if it was horror, but for comedy, I think that kind of lighting adds a touch of comedy to it as well. In my opinion, because I know what you're talking about, and I noticed it sometimes.
Again, like I'm saying, I'm being very nitpicky, but I would love to understand the logic behind it.
I love the tungsten lighting, that warm lighting, as much as anyone. But for a comedy, purely for a comedy, I think that kind of like interview lighting fits with the tone sometimes. But anyways, well done, Bruce. This is really good, like concept, really well executed. I have Tmim id-Dinya next. Tmim id-Dinya, Jewel Brothers. So to start off,
creative the story.
Yes. Marisabelle, go for it. What did you think about Tmim id-Dinya?
I think it was very creative and loved the character development. The trial, upon each other, and the twists that was created between them. So in terms of storyline, it was very interesting. And then of course the cinematography and everything else, it shows that they know what they're doing. So I really loved it in that way.
Yeah, Franco.
So I was also impressed by the way, Jewel Brothers. I've always told them their cinematography and their editing style is amazing.
Editing.
This. So I prefer this editing style to this kind of concept. With horror, you have to be a bit careful not to overwhelm and overdo it with the editing. But this was perfect. Like I know I know that these guys love what's his name, Edward Ilallo. Today, the names. Um, um, what's his name? The guy who did World's End and Hot Fuzz.
World's End and Hot Fuzz. Oh, Madonna. Oh, wait. My camera. Again.
Okay. And by the way, Edgar Wright. Thank you, Ashley. And by the way, Ash asked us to do his afterwards. Andrea.
No problem. No
So
problem.
Edgar Wright. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, the Edgar Wright influences are there. Acting wise was good. Like I was watching it again today for a few minutes, and the guy doing like, it was so. It manages to be localized, but at the same time, if this movie goes and does the festival runs, it will work. Again, great lighting, editing. What else was there to? Like it was one of my favorites as well. Again, like I said, it was between this or Sound of Swiping. Great story as well. The like Marisabelle said, the bit of tension because it's almost like a bromance triangle between Jean's character and the other character. Bernard, like I said, he's great in it. Jean as well, like taking himself less seriously and with the. I also saw a bit of the behind the scenes. It's funny that I use the hair dryer and they use the compressor to do the hair fan. I'm like, lello. It's a good idea as well for compressors. Again, well done, Jewel Brothers. Keep it up. As far as something to critique, not much, I'd say. Yes. I was not sure who was passing. I would have put the beer cans passing over in front of the camera to do a transition because someone passing over was a bit strange. Like, wait, is there someone? I was like, is there someone in the house? Like, it would have made sense, for example, when the main character was in hospital, if you do a doctor passing in front of the camera and then transitioning into the hospital scene and then a nurse passing by and goes back into the salon scene, so to speak, the living room scene. But I was a bit confused, like there were certain moments like who's passing in front of camera. So that's why I would say either a pint would have swiped in front of the camera and then do the transition. Again, nitpicking, but I feel it would also like help a bit with the story wise. Again, nothing much to add. And Andrea, finally.
Yes, so to conclude on to Medini, I would say very well produced short. These guys do some really impressive stuff. Like you said, it's well shot, and the editing is definitely I would say with Cece's the best edited film from the lot, and with Bruce's as well. I would say Bruce is also very well edited, of course. If I had to say one negative, I would say the ending was a little meh for me. I thought there was a very, very, big build-up, big build-up to the story, and the build-up to the ending was great. But it's like kind of like, I expected a much bigger bang. How Marisabelle, you were saying before, you wanted to end with a bang. Here, I think the bang was missing here. So as I was watching it at home, I was like, oh, this is so well produced, really well edited. I was pretty sure this would be my favorite. And then I'm like, okay. So I think this kind of short would need a bit of a bigger bang at the end, especially if you're going for a comedy festival where the main awards basically go for the funniest. for the funniest short. And that's, I think, maybe it's not an issue with the festival because it's a comedy, so it needs to make you laugh. But sometimes, you know, some of my favorite comedy films aren't the kind of like, you know, ha ha ha, laugh out loud films. It's the ones you chuckle with and you smile and you feel good, but they're not like ha ha ha, laugh out loud, right? Like, for example, Ashley's, which we'll talk about next. It has its big laugh out loud moments, the moments where, you know, you just burst out laughing. So that's, you know, the whole thing with comedy short, you know, comedy festivals, where you're going for the ha 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 moments. I wanted a bit of a ha ha moment at the end, and I didn't get that. But apart from that,
I have to see it again because there was something. I feel that there was something missing, or at least now it's become also trendy to do like moments of big sadness in real laugh out loud comedies.
yes, I mean,
Like the friendship where there's a way.
yes,
You know,
yes.
it's like naturally, so to speak.
I mean, Franco,
Mhm.
we were talking about Commedia all'Italiana before. Commedia all'Italiana, the backdrop of Commedia all'Italiana is pure sadness coming from the realismo. I mean, I was talking about Guardie e Ladri. The backdrop of that is how poor and how distraught the Italian populace is after the war. So there is this, you know, perennial sadness in the backdrop, but still you get humor out of that sadness. That is my favorite comment. That is my favorite humor.
That's why I'm telling you, watch the Forza all'Italiana because the humor is sharp and acidic almost.
Yes, we have that in our lecture. We have that in our lecture with Prof's Gloria.
Lalo.
That's what it's going to be about.
So hello,
Marisabelle.
Emma, by the way.
Marisabelle.
Andrea, can I join you at the lecture?
Yeah, I'll tell the profs and see if we can bring you in. I'll let you know.
Cool.
Hello there. Hello, Emma Brownrigg.
Hey.
Next up.
And Simone said she agrees with me. Yes.
All right.
Great minds think alike.
All right now. So
Next, we've got Ashley's, right?
Ashley's, yes, because he needs to be popping off. See what I did there?
Ashley's was the date, right? Yes, the date.
Yes, the date.
Okay.
You know what I thought when I saw that Ken? Isn't that Ken from Wong Kar-wai's Chungking Express, or am I wrong? Sorry, again.
Could be. I'm not sure.
I'm such a nerd that I thought that the Ken was in reference to Chungking Express, the pineapple, and wait, look at how my mind was working because the date on the pineapple Ken was also 1st April, and he says and the thing about Wong Kar-wai's Chungking Express is he says that his girlfriend broke up with him on the 1st of April, and he thought it was a joke.
It was a joke. Yes.
So that's how it went. It went. My mind went. But still, listen. By the way, so if I start and go off with Ashley's huge improvement from Video Nasties. No, sorry. Yes. Again, this is me being the nerd and the cinema snob here. Not worry, yes.
Ash, you could have said it was. You could have said, and we would have believed you.
Oh yeah. It was yes. Oh, okay. So Ashley, a huge improvement from the Video Nasties to the point, and I'm giving you this a bit of a personal anecdote that when I told my cousin who didn't like your Video Nasties, and I told her how much of an improvement it was, and I told her about the pineapple premise, she burst out laughing. And she's like, I didn't even mention, I said the pineapple. Like, I told her that this guy's going on a date, his friend calls him, tells him to eat lots of pineapple, and she immediately got it and burst out laughing. So that's how much of an improvement it was. Now, my favorite moment, another, like, it was a great content. I wish, in a sense, again, because Bruce is like dragging all the words behind him, I wish you could have got best audience reaction, especially the shower scene. The shower scene was another moment.
Amazing.
I teared up with laughter.
Me too. I was laughing with tears.
Excellent stuff. Now, what I'd like you to do, be more. Think of it as your work, as your child. Um, uh, yeah, and it's listen. If it was me, I would have given you audience reaction. By the way, quick chill. Twitch break incoming. Just in case, just switch over to YouTube and watch us without ads bothering your stream. So back to Ashley's. Please take care more of your work. Don't. I know the temptation is strong to go. Oh, I'm not gonna take care about this stuff. Now try to find a good camera person. And like I said, I just live around the place where you do the podcast. I can come and help over. Not too much because I'm already involved almost in three. To be involved in four, I'd be like, too much. I was so close, I felt proud. Second, just take more care. And like I told you, with the idea thing with improvisation, sit your asses down. Do a through line. So it's like, okay, we need to go from A to B. So what happens then? So you start cutting down the scene. So the point of the whole movie is, okay, this guy wants to go on a date and make it happen. Even the last scene, like it's a great, like you're expecting that this guy is going to go on a date, and they're like, no, fuck it, excellent ending. Now you have to find a way to say, okay, so from A, this scene, so in between these scenes are happening. Let's call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So scene 1, what is the aim of scene 1? That he needs to get ready. He needs to get ready, but his friend keeps on calling him and bothering him and not being able to get ready. Then scene 2, what is the aim of scene 2? That scene 2 is he's trying to remember what his friends' advices were, but he keeps forgetting because obviously he keeps forgetting. There's also the moment, obviously, another important thing. We also said that always show, don't tell. There was a moment where Mark Anthony Bellitz kept on telling him, "Oh, don't forget. Listen, we got it. The character forgets. So show him that he forgets." In fact, the thing I felt that this movie could have been cut down and condensed more. So, and just like I said, consider this thing like a child. Give it care. See where it works, what doesn't work. And again, but other than that, it's a huge improvement. Please keep it up. Even though you're filming, I don't know if you're filming on a camera or a phone.
I think it's a phone. It feels like a phone. I'm not sure, though.
And it doesn't matter what do you use. The important stuff is the sound.
Yes,
and the cameras now even like even you ever give some attention to the lighting, like to shape a bit the light phone. Okay, it doesn't matter what you use, but if you give some attention to how you shape the lighting as well, like we were talking about interview lighting, there will be almost no distinction between using a phone, using a camera. Don't leave the phone on an automatic setting. The phones now are as powerful as cameras. The difference will be slightly noticeable for the untrained.
It's the jittering on the phone that makes it.
Yeah, because the focus doesn't lock. Like, it's great. The focus locks on. In fact, that's why I did the joke. Shit, there's a lot of exposition. Works, actually. But again, take care. Then you have to condense and make the movie flow even better. Because obviously what happens then, from one joke to another, there's a bit of a drag. And then the jokes come in again. So you have to, again, it's a bit of tweaking here and there, basically. Anyway, without further ado, your criticisms, guys.
Marisabelle.
Otherwise...
Well, what I have to say is very positive remarks. I mean, yes, I have seen the journey from the first movie to the second movie, and I've enjoyed it to see the difference. And also, after all, it is his element, it's comedy, and it's his bread and butter that he does on the frequent. So it shows that it's... What, yes?
Hold on a second. I really wanted to use a camera, but I was scared. Rabbi Parbayt. Ashley, okay? Don't be scared.
Get a cinematographer, Ash. Just get a cinematographer. But...
we have a good community, so don't worry.
Yeah.
So, Marisabelle.
So what I can say is that they took us to another level, which we don't see to that in terms of intimacy when it comes to his perspective or his character's perspective of preparing for a date, and we don't see it on movies usually to that level, and I really enjoyed that aspect. And it was so funny because in that way it was very authentic. It was relatable to understand his authenticity, and he had a good storyline. Yes, you mentioned what could improve, but I'm mentioning what I appreciated about it, and in that way it was super funny. So
Yes, it
Yeah,
was
keep it up,
hilarious. It was
Ashley.
hilarious. It was hilarious. I agree.
and you're right about it being very relatable. So you hit the nail on the head. So
100%, 100%. No,
Yeah.
it was hilarious. I laughed. I've said many times. Actually, now he needs to get a cinematographer, not just someone to hold the camera, and take care of the lighting, take care also possibly of the editing process. It's
listen. It's there's no excuse that to be honest. Like Mark Anthony Bellizzi can sit himself down, find some YouTube.
Yes,
Now you can find
100%.
everything on YouTube. Phone cinematography, Film Riot. Film Riot does also explain how they do cinematography with an iPhone.
And that's
You know, so,
Studio
again-
Bank. What's the name of that Studio Bank?
Studio
Binder.
Studio Binder.
Studio Binder, yes. Go on to Studio
excellent-
Binder. Really
Excellent
good.
resource on storytelling, on cinematography, on the 3x structure. You know, it's again, if I mentioned Last Minute, which was also shot on an iPhone and mostly improvised, like most of the time I said, listen, I was telling the people, you're fluffing a lot. We need this. You have a set amount of time where you basically you have to finish the scene in 10 lines. I told them, and they did it, and it was great chemistry as well. So this is also a good training for you. I'm sorry, I'm being a bit too much of a teacher. Let
Yes,
the teacher speak, actually.
because some of the lines you could tell they were improvised, but not in a good way. Some of the lines just felt like very unconvincing. It's like someone is trying to think of something up, or it's kind of like, what was I supposed to say here? And you notice the delivery is not up to scratch. For example, the team behind Kunsil Lokali, I think they have a good grasp onto this. I would say more Marcos, Ash. I would say more Marcos. There was a line when he was sitting down and speaking to you on the phone, where I was like, yeah, I could see that they're like, they're not really clear on what they were supposed to say. Then when it came to the bathroom scene, that worked flawlessly in my opinion. Like the humor really came out because you can tell. Like I don't know, but it felt like you knew exactly where you were going with that kind of like whole gag in the bathroom. So I would work on that. I would also highly recommend checking out one of these many books on screenplay. Like Franco mentioned, the 3-act arc. They're basic, but they're basic and they're guides for a reason, right? Like Save the Cat, for example.
In the case of it, but I feel screenplay, if you're going to write a structured screenplay with dialogue and whatnot, I prefer yeah, exactly. You
could tell, Ash. I could tell instantly that whole sequence. I could tell it was like, convincing. Your line delivery and Marcus's line delivery really good, and the humor really worked. So yes, it's that kind of effort that brings, real quality. And again, like Franco said, it's not just a question of using a phone, because today, big budget films are being made with a phone, notwithstanding all the massive lenses and all the shit they add to the phone, because you see the phone and then you see like a massive lens attached to it, and then all the other extra equipment. But still, you can get great quality with a phone. It's just the know-how, having the know-how behind it, right? Franco.
I was going to suggest, with all his controversy surrounding him, if you like, what's it called, Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon has what he calls, I think, the clock structure of screenplaying. But you can find his his videos on the YouTube channel of Studio Binder. Actually, let me see it and link it to you, Ashley. Again, it's the structure of a screenplay, but this time it's used for improvisation. The way I used improvisation in Last Minute, and Marisabelle can tell you that we used a line where I know everything what's happening, so that I have a structure of the story, and then I gave them like the aim of the scene. So what is the aim of this scene? And basically I told them, okay, you can shorten it. Remember, Mar, where I told you, okay, there's a bit too much pause between one line and the other. Shorten it, make it a bit more, give it a bit more energy. Remember?
Yes, it was so
Last
much
Minute?
fun working on Last Minute.
Exactly. So no,
Yes.
listen, Ashley, I don't think you exactly need a proper script, because your chemistry, you have one of your biggest strengths as the three of you is the chemistry you have with each other. So because sometimes writing comedy, writing it down loses a bit of the energy. So see how you could focus more on your strengths. And again, just tweak it.
And for video nasties, you can still go with horror comedy. I mean, some of the best horror films are incredibly funny. So go for horror comedy. Play to your strengths. And remember, video nasties is all about those, really disgusting moments. That's what wins you the prizes. So you know what to aim at, Ash. And I think you guys can definitely go for that kind of really demented, really moment, which will get you the video nasties prizes, right? So play to your strengths. Again, play to your strengths. Shall I move on, guys? I've got
move on.
Speed data next.
It.
We can talk about speed data next.
Speed data. Everyone keeps saying speed data. Ash, that's the link for Dan Harmon's Story Circle. It's called, not Story Clock, Story Circle.
Marisabelle,
speed
shall
data.
we have Marisabelle start first?
Yep.
Go for it, Marisabelle.
Alright, so about speed data, your speed data I really loved it. I mean, I think Simon had a big job to do, from the script writing, the producing, the directing, everything. And basically, sorry, واحدة عشان دي.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Yeah. The director is speaking! Silence on set!
Silence on set!
I was told that we would have quiet, and then, anyways. So for the comment, Simone عملت job immense. عملت process. It's her first movie, and I'm very impressed, and I want to see more of her stuff. And not only that, apart from the fact it's being her first movie, the script itself is quite layered, and she has lots of characters, and she is combining all these elements that are mixing and matching together, and it all makes sense, and all her work paid off. And I think the team was also good. So you can see that they've done a great job together, and I really enjoyed watching it. And yes, it was funny. So that's what I can share about it.
Franco, go for it.
So by the way, we have the writer of Clairvoyant here, Laura Chandler. Congratulations to the dog. Wow, she's a meanie bobini, by the way, Laura Chandler. She was very mean to me as well. So. Well-deserved third place. I again, if I would have chosen the movies, this is the shoe-in for third place. It's an excellent first effort. There is a good sense of writing as well. Especially I noticed it in the way she wrote the character of Maxime, where first you think. Think again, Laura. No, I'm joking, obviously. It's a bit of banter. So I could see the writing with Maxime's, even with your character, Marisabelle, where she goes like, oh my god, is she photogenic? Like,
that was funny. That was very funny.
Such a great line.
I loved acting that character. I mean, because it's the opposite of who I am, and I loved it.
No, she's as far as character goes, she has quite clear stuff. So now it's what I didn't like. The breaking the fourth wall. Either you're going breaking the fourth wall. Either you're going to do it once and properly. And the best example, speaking of Malta Pops, that was a great example. It's like, listen, and he's like, listen, I know it's a funny film, but I need my privacy. Excellent. This one happened as well with Ouija, where Ouija all of a sudden there's this sort of serious, not so let's be cook for a second here. Ouija had that sort of serious tone, and then all of a sudden it breaks the fourth wall, and it felt jarring. In this case, the breaking of the fourth wall was like redundant, especially with the comments being made about
Yes, it's a
about
socio-political
Milan.
commentary. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
which wasn't necessary because we could already understand what
Yeah,
was
exactly.
going on.
So
We didn't need any like extra comments. So and sometimes with writing, it's less, not more. The less you write, the better. Sometimes you don't need to explain
exactly.
it. Like we get what they're going, what you were going for. So I
And
agree
and
completely, Franco.
and the fact that it is not sustained, because if it is sustained, you say, okay, this is it was established in the beginning that
Yes, yes,
this
yes.
movie is gonna break the fourth wall, and this is sustained throughout. But unfortunately, CC's breaks the fourth wall, but immediately it is established that it's going to be
But that's the
broken by a
rule,
fourth
kind of
wall.
like that's the rule of the
Exactly.
film, and that's the whole basis of the film. And plus,
Yeah, it's
the breaking of the fourth
but
wall, there is an important narrative element. Here, it
no, for
wasn't really an
sure.
important narrative element. It didn't give us any like extra needed information. It was just there, kind of.
And that's true. But again, you said the rule. So if you're going to set the rule that the fourth wall is going to be broken, set it in the beginning. But this was superficial. Another thing, there tends to be a bit of dragging in the story. So
Yes,
again,
that's something I
condense
was going
and
to mention as well.
refine.
Yes.
We get it that the kid is a troublemaker. So, but again, then on the flip side, well done, because working on a first movie with kids and animals is the two
Yes.
the two the
And
two
a big
advices
cast.
filmmakers tell you.
A big cast.
Never.
Lots of characters, kids, animals. It's like
Animals.
everything, all the rules. And to be fair,
Yeah.
it worked. It mostly worked for me as well.
Yes, it mostly worked. But that's what they say: never work with kids and animals. As for first. All of the above. It was wild. No, it was worth it, because even well done. By the way, Maverick also had great cinematography in this case. He saved and I, because I spoke to them, he did make a good like, as far as structure goes in the editing, he did make it work a lot. What else was there? Yes, speaking of Maverick, please take care. I don't know if you worked on Da Vinci, because it happens to me too. Da Vinci has a tendency that even though you put down the music, it still manages to feel as loud as the dialogue. So you have to be extra careful with the balancing of the music, because I felt that the music was in the background and then stayed in the level of the background. I don't know if it was the mix in the cinema, for the benefit of the doubt, but there was a bit of leveling issues between the music and the dialogue. So just take care of it, especially if you're going to put it out in festivals coming up. That's it from. But again, very well deserved third place, and especially for a first effort. Big cast, kids, and that was great to pull it all together. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just
I'm
to
curious
add.
what Simone has to say to our comments.
Yeah, just to add a quick comment, I agree with you guys that it's I think it's for a first. This is a first effort, right? This is a debut.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like very brave, very very brave, because it's not short. It's 14 minutes 41 seconds. So and then that's something I wanted to mention about it, and it gets bogged down a little bit here and there. I wasn't a fan of all the different characters. I thought some were very well written. I thought that Maxine's character was very well done, and it was hilarious as well. Marisabelle, yours worked. I really liked Bruce's as well.
Maverick just commented, yeah, you're totally right. It was a time issue, basically, either brave or crazy. Both, but you have to be crazy sometimes. So Maverick, again, like I'm saying, like I understand the issues. This is with all short movies, so I understand. But again, It doesn't. Like I said, you did a great job with the cinematography as well. So
Yes,
keep it up.
yes. And like Clive mentioned, the fact that you had all those different characters and you had to keep up with all those different and you could keep up with all the different characters. That's props to the editing and props to the cinematography and obviously props to the director. So very brave effort. I would say there were some chinks in the armor. Some of the characters I wasn't a big fan of. Sometimes it got bogged down with a bit too much focus on the young kid. But then to add to it, then the kid had some of the funniest moments as well. So it's like it's I don't know. I enjoyed it. Just got bogged down a bit too much in my opinion. But for a first effort, this is like really good. Just thinking about doing this, very brave and a very good effort. So overall, yes, well done, Simon, and I really look forward to seeing what you're going to do next. Marisabelle.
Super. Cross it.
Could you point out, Andrea, where it gets bogged down? Like I said,
Go for it, Franco, and then I'll.
No, I was gonna say we like there's a moment where we get that the kid is a. I have to see it again and then give you you can always message us guys so we can give you a more detailed review. In my case, I felt that we get it that the kid is a troublemaker, so no need for him to see what he did. For example, I think a great example is when he gets out the condom of Jackman's character, and we see what he's going to do with the scissors. That's it. It's fine, and we could there's no need for us to see the flashback when basically Jackman's character and Alamango's no, not Alamango, sorry. Wait, is she an Alamango too? No. What's her name? Flair.
The singer.
The singer. I forgot what the woman's name is. Forgive me. Again, that is the moment where you don't need to show what the kid did. Madeline, thank you, Madeline Simon. Madeline Gruppetta, thank you. This happened to me with Bernard as well before I got his name. The priest guy I told.
The priest guy.
Madeline Gruppetta's character and Jackman basically say, okay, we're gonna get it on. There's no need to show the flashback. We got people. Even the audience, if you notice the reaction, this is also important to all the movies. Notice the reactions as well, guys. Where it works, where it doesn't work, and this also helps you when you start your festival runs. Like the audience immediately got it that these people are gonna have that content's not gonna work. So there's no need for it to drive the point home too much. That's one example for in my case. Andreas?
If I had to comment, I would say maybe possibly have less characters. I don't think we needed all the different characters because I know what she was going for. She's getting the different stratas of Maltese society, all the different kind of issues we have in this country. If we focus on just one or two, I think it would work much better. It would flow better as well. And I would say just try to tackle one or two things. There's no need to go into construction, influencers, incels. We had the construction, the singer who's looking for love, the Hamalla. I mean, that's a lot of different themes and a lot of different elements you're tackling in before you get into the whole romance element of it all. So you're tackling a lot of stuff. And it's in my opinion, it's too many things in one short film. I would just focus on one or two and maybe flesh them out a bit more, focus on the humor of those elements, and I think it would. But again, this is nitpicking, of course. Franco, anything else you wanted to add? Or Marisabelle?
Agreed. Agreed. Sometimes again, and like I said, you have to check if the storyline is. And Ash, P.S. I have to go. Thanks so much, guys, and proceed everyone. You two all filmmakers, and I'm available for acting.
Thank you, Ash.
Yes.
Hire Ash. Funny.
Please. Unfortunately, Ash, I cannot do the things we have discussed. but give Ash a challenging role where basically he wants to do a serious role, and it's a good challenge for him because I think he can also diverge a bit from the comedy as well. Um, no, and it's basically like I told Marisabelle Simone as well. Decide what is the main storyline here. Is it the woman trying to find romance, or is it social satire? Not that you cannot put some social satire, but
Oh,
as I said,
100%. But when you
show them.
have all those different elements, it's like it gets a little too bogged down with also with with the conversation, and there's the construction guy, and there's remember what I said with Kunsil Lokali Franco. First time we reviewed it, the first episode,
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
here comes that joke, and here comes that joke, and here it's like once you start, you get used to the kind of like how it's built. Start like, okay, now I'm expecting the Hamalla. Oh, here she comes. Now I'm expecting the Instagram influencer. Oh, here she comes. Right? I would just focus on one or two and just get all the humor you can get out of that. And I think it would work. It would work as well. But again, it's you're the creator. You go for what you think is best. Moving on. Shall we move on to
I was gonna say quick comment on the Consil Locali because it was out of competition. The second episode is out.
Yes. Let's talk about Consil Locali, man.
Holy shit! And I thank fuck it wasn't in the competition because it would have killed us all. That's what I'm gonna say. But holy shit! Well done,
I have to
Gianni Vella.
agree. I have to agree. Sorry, guys, but Consil Locali.
No. Consil Locali
Yeah.
would have left us in the dust. I'm seeing that you're starting to develop a bit more the story, polishing it. The addition of the Italian woman and how she's also that at least the other Maltese character is also finding someone to bounce off to. The famous garlic bread bit was hella funny. And fuck all the haters basically. Keep it up, guys. Again, I'm seeing that it is being more polished. Even the improvisation is becoming more polished, and like boom, joke is done. Move on. There's no need to stay out too much on the joke.
The PowerPoint
characters-
one. Oh, Madonna.
Illala, the
Woo!
PowerPoint.
Illala, when he did the woo, the first time he did the woo. I that's when I was crying. I was crying with laughter.
I think the Consul Locali, and especially having a great team with a great team of comedians and filmmakers, even with Daniel, a great team of comedians and filmmakers. It's a marriage made in heaven, even with the social satire. The way I think the Deke was also great. Everyone, there's no need to show who it was, and immediately people got it. Deke, I was crying with laughter. I feel you set a benchmark in Consul Locali, and I'm not being facetious with my compliment, guys. So keep it up. Keep on polishing it. I'm looking forward to the third episode.
Mhm,
And,
very much so. Marisabelle.
Yeah, I'm curious about the third episode. I'm sure he's gonna try and surprise us all with something, which is a big job to do now, seeing that the first two episodes already made us surprised and not we didn't expect what came up in the first two episodes. So I wonder what comes up next.
I mean, Daniel trying to speak Italian. Oh,
Oh,
parlo italiano.
lui, amico.
So hilarious. But for me, the PowerPoint scene, I just couldn't keep it together. I couldn't keep it together. Like for me, this is a benchmark for Maltese comedy. Definitely a benchmark, and a big improvement from the first one. I had some criticism for episode 1, but for this episode, like I was crying throughout the whole thing. Like
Yes.
it's just comedy gold, and it works on all the different elements. It's well produced. The line delivery is just you can tell these are like are they professional comedians or semi-professional?
And Andrew, Daniel, and Daniel, they're all Consul Locali. We're all cogs in the machine. True. Andrew, Daniel, and Daniel are professional stand-up
Yeah,
comedians.
you can
Andrew,
tell because the line delivery is like exceptional. Like they set the standard basically for this kind of comedy. So really well done. This is a benchmark with which you need to tackle comedy, in my opinion.
I have an idea for the third episode that the mayorship is up for election and the other candidate is
Super woke.
No. The third episode would be a clash between this mayor and James Ryder, because after James Ryder failed in the MEPs, he tries to go for mayor now. Just an idea. In the words of Pontius Pilate and Charmaine Gauch, you wash your hands. Another banger line, man.
Yes.
You're right, John.
Yes. Really good. Let's move on, guys, because it's 10 and I needed to go a long time ago. What's next? Garlic sauce.
I was very impressed by AJ, because I know AJ is a good sound person. So please do consider AJ as a possible collaborator. It was as far as two as a couple having a fight. It was a good like dramatic exercise. As far as laughter goes, maybe it needed more when they had. I think the thing that could have made it more was that the garlic sauce was so good, and that every time they're trying to have an argument, it breaks it, and they go off with like when they said, like, "Oh my God, it's like Chris Hemsworth coming to my mouth." Great, but maybe that was what would have made it work more, because it could have broken down even more. Like you see a relationship being broken down, but then their fight is always interrupted by this fucking great garlic sauce, which I also want to taste now.
Yes, I do. Marisabelle, what do you think?
I think that I think the location was very creative, because it was within a car, and it's not.
Yes.
I mean, it was different from the other shorts that we saw, and that made it unique in comparison. It felt real, because the argument felt so real that I felt like I was in the argument myself, and and that adds a little bit to the slice of life humor in that way. And I'm assuming that is what they were trying to get to. What I appreciated also is the acting from both actors, and it was very well made in that way. So maybe my own perspective about arguments took over me a bit, and regarding the humor side of things. But otherwise, yes, I appreciated these elements.
Yes.
Can I also make a bit of a comment? I think the making fun. It's not a question of not make it. It's getting a bit tiring making fun of the woke stuff now. Like, we get it. It's ridiculous. We should start a bit moving on from it. That's the only comment, because I've noticed it in other stuff. I mean, with first was like, yes, this is ridiculous, but now it's like, okay, we get it. Being ultra woke is ridiculous. It's no longer like. I mean, at the end of the day, seeing who won the U.S. elections, I think woke is done for now. So that's a general comment as well, and especially since much of the subject matter in this festival was less than woke, and people still laughed. Again, it's a non-issue, I feel like now.
Yes.
But by the way, I agree with Marisabelle. The single location idea, great. It was amazing. Yeah, this was what I was saying as well. As far as drama goes, it's a good like dramatic piece. But if you want more comedy in it, inject like that. That was how I would may do it. Like every single time they have a bite of the garlic hands, it's interjected. Yo, fancy Philippe Flop. Hello from Twitch.
AJ rocked, not as funny as one would expect, but not down to the acting. Tiana and AJ were really great. Yeah, I agree completely. I thought there was very good chemistry between AJ and Tiana. They worked well. It felt like a real argument. There was some of the elements of the awkwardness that worked well together. Some of the elements of the, the couple of each other. So they're arguing, but you can still feel that kind of love going through. So yes, I agree. Oh, we lost Marisabelle. Oh no,
She'll be back.
she'll be back.
She'll be back.
Yes, I agree completely with Simon here that I think the acting was great. I felt like it needed a bit of oomph, that little bit of extra spice to just add that little bit of extra in it, and to get the laughs out of the crowd. Personally, I didn't find it as funny. I laughed at the Chris Hemsworth joke. But then I needed a bit more out of it, right? Because I think that was your, like you said, Franco, that was the big joke, the Chris Hemsworth joke. So you need to play off that then. And they didn't.
And again, it's like it would be a great contrast where they're having this very serious argument, and then they need to find a moment where it breaks down with the garlic sauce. Like they're having this whole argument, and then, oh my god, this fucking garlic sauce. Yeah, it needed more garlic sauce, basically.
More garlic sauce. All right, moving on to the reservation, and we've got
Saw Maltese stream on Twitch just now and found this YouTube channel. Thank you, Faith. Thank you so much. Yeah, Carolina Reaper is the sequel. The Carolina Reaper hot sauce will be the sequel to garlic sauce.
So we've got
Anyway.
The Reservation by John Lewis Fennick, who is in the chat as well.
So, Jean-Louis Fenech, please don't give up. I know we're going to be a bit harsh on this. I cannot stress enough the importance of sound.
Sound is essential. Sound is essential.
Is essential. I think this is the biggest issue. There are AI tools now available in the editing programs, DaVinci, but obviously AI can only do so much. Don't rely too much on AI. You need good sound, even as far. But obviously, I understand that this is a question of needing more experience, which I'm happy to have you as assistant director in one of the video nasties we're gonna do together, Jean. Because I see that you want to do something, but I feel that you need more experience. Secondly, it's funny, again, always be critical of your work. You have to find. I see that you also went through the route of improvisation, to the point that one blooper was funnier than the one used in the edit. So again, you have to find yourself. I know it's a very difficult position to be both the creator and the audience, and you have to find a way to actually divide yourself between creator and the audience, and you see, like, does this timing work? Will the audience find it funny? So, and I understand obviously that you had kudos as well to Dwayne Samut for intervening as well, because he had him out, Jean-Louis, helped out Jean-Louis. So kudos to Dwayne. And again, there's no, obviously, like I said, we've already mentioned Studio Binder, Film Riot. Even if you're going to film on a phone, there's so many resources. Do look at these resources, and then like I said, find yourself a team where they're ready to basically pull you out from the hair and see, listen, this is what you have to do, this is what we're doing, and blah blah blah, etc. So, but again, this is not me telling you give the fuck up. Please don't give up. I'm looking forward to see what you do next. And like I said, I'm happy to have you on my team, because I see that you're really keen and eager to do something. I understand as well. Here's a pointer as well, because you told me that the restaurant was being a bit of an ass to you guys. Fuck him. Find another place and see. Like, for example, in my case, like for example, tell them, yes, let's do this. Like, can we sponsor you? Can we have like a discount and have a sponsor and make sure that we sponsor you on like Jeanette. I told her tell JB Stores that, listen, their brand is going to be shown on Eden Cinemas, and it works. We got 20% discount to. I'm going into the behind the scenes here to design basically the Madonna, the clairvoyant room, basically. Always try to learn. No, exactly. No, I feel it, Jean-Louis. I think that's a great quality to have, that you're always looking forward to learn. So I appreciate that as well. So again, I'm sorry I'm being harsh and critical, but I can see that you have potential. So I'd rather maybe, again, I don't know what you're going to do with video nasties, but I'd rather say take a step back, see learn a bit more, and then go back to it, and we'll definitely see a huge improvement. Again, don't give up.
Marisabelle.
Hey, so about the reservation, what I really need to comment is that they didn't book a space. We already said this. Franco, you said that. But what John told me, that basically they made use of a restaurant and made it look like a lobby. And I didn't understand that from the movie. So it's either me not being aware, but I thought how it was shot from the angle, it's made sense to be looking like a lobby. And I have to comment on that fact that while it looked maybe busy at some points, it looked like a busy hotel lobby from the angles they were doing. So from that side, I have to say that they made use of the restriction to try and see how to manage to put their goal through. So for that, I have to say that even though they had a restriction, they saw how to work around it. And at the end of the day, when you're at the beginning, at least that's what you need to do. Because if you don't have a location, you don't have a location. Like the same thing for Not Just Coffee. We didn't have a space close for us because you don't find easily a place that is willing to close for you and still have someone available to open and stay with you, because of course their location are not going to let you use their premises without someone from their shop or whatnot. So it's not easy in terms of location to find. So this is quite something at least they managed to pull through in how they could.
Yes. To add on to what you're saying, guys, overall, I would work very much on sound, because I think one of the issues with sound, and we talk about this in our university course, is that sound is always kind of like the last thing you think about. And you focus on the camera and you focus on the acting, and the sound, you will have just someone recording, Sound makes or breaks your film. In my opinion, a film can look ugly, but if it sounds good, it can still work. If a film doesn't sound good and it looks good, it still doesn't work for me. And the big issue here, unfortunately, is the sound. A lot of the dialogue sounds, it just doesn't sound good. So a lot of effort needs to go into sound. A lot of effort. Sound is essential. And in a comedy where you're looking for the line delivery, sound is even more important. Like horror and comedy, for me, sound is the most important thing. For both comedy and horror, now we're getting into video nasties, sound is essential. So I would rather you invest a lot of money into the sound and just use a phone.
Listen, not necessarily. Right now there are great cheap options where basically you can clip mics with magnets, hide them underneath a jacket, which is what basically I did. Again, if you have the budget, go for like Holyland or is it DJI? I think DJI also have great mics right now. Rode as well. They have these like clip-on mics.
Yes. The Rode ones I've seen. Yes.
And it also helps. They have great noise cancelling features now, where basically they will tune down the ambience and focus more on the actor's voice. So again, see what's within your budget, and there's lots of way to go around stuff.
Yes, like even for our podcast, like the first thing I invested a lot of money on was this mic. I knew that for a podcast I needed a great mic. So this is what, 500 euros? But I mean, fuck it too. It's an investment.
I mean, it's sure SM7B. It's a meme within the podcast people as well.
For me, it's the best podcast available for like for podcasting. For me, this is like at this price range and anywhere within this price range. This is for me. But again, to go back to the film, yes, sound is essential. And then to get into the writing, I thought we didn't play. You have Dwayne. I think we could have played more into the Dwayne personality, and possibly get some of the the humor that we got out of Brick Brother from Dwayne. Although I don't.
Sorry, because Jean-Louis just said, true, I heard it in the cinema like that and I saw it on my laptop. It was fine. No, it's not unusual. It's not unusual, Jean-Louis. Don't hear it from your laptop speakers.
No. Earphones, headphones, and good speakers are essential to hear all the little small tidbits and errors and so on. So I would recommend you guys getting good headphones, listening to it very carefully, because in a cinema, every single small mistake is going to sound 10 times louder.
Oh, amplified. Even camera shake, it's going to be amplified.
Yes. I mean, you watch it on a laptop and then you blow that up onto a cinema screen. He didn't have pretty big screens. Yes, it's essential. It's essential. So yes, these are things you learn with experience. After all, these are things you learn with experience. And like Franco said, it's good sometimes to work with people with experience because they've fucked up already. So you can learn from their fuck ups really, and you can learn like from their experience. So like Franco said, work as an AD with some great directors. You can work with Marisabelle and Franco. You have these two here, and that will help you improve a lot because
Thank you.
Because that's how you're going to improve. And we mentioned Studio Binder. Go through Studio Binder. There's so many resources, so many resources to learn how to shoot a scene, and to learn about lighting and about sound. And we mentioned the writing as well. I think some work needs to be done also on the writing for your film. But I'm glad you put this through, and I really look forward to seeing what you're going to do next. So that's it for Jean-Louis's The Reservation. What do you want to do next, guys? We have Who Killed the Laughter, Slightly Off, and Clairvoyant.
So, Slightly Off.
Slightly Off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love Slightly Off. If I can start, guys. I thought Slightly Off was excellent. My favorite film with regard to cinematography, and probably my second favorite after Tmim Dunya with regard to editing. I thought that the whole monologue element by Jurich, right?
Oh my God,
was
Jurich.
Really good, really good. It was, for me, best actor was a toss-up between Bernard and Jurich.
Jurich, yes, 100% agree.
You know why I went for Bernard? I went for Bernard, me personally, because it was all about laughs, and Jurich, as great as his monotone narration was, it wasn't the kind of like laugh out loud narration. It was a chuckle narration. It didn't bring like big laugh out moments, but that's not what they were going for. Like I know clearly CC wasn't going for that. So it didn't bring out a lot of laugh out loud moments from myself personally. There was a lot of small chuckles. Franco.
Speaking of, which reminds me, a general note, guys. I am noticing something that you. Thank you for your comments, guys. I appreciate it. Looking forward to being Nazis. Looking forward, John, and we'll get in touch. I am noticing something that has a tendency that I even also told Bruce about it. We have a tendency not to use a lot Maltese. Maltese is our strongest asset, especially if we don't have a good English accent. Go for Maltese, guys. Not in the case of Slightly Off.
Not in the case of Slightly Off. That is
no.
anything but.
Because anything but. No. I understand. Obviously, CC, Jonathan Bachman, their first language is not Maltese, so it's understandable. But if your first language is Maltese, please make more use of it. Don't be like, I don't understand. Even Simone's strong suit was also that she had some parts in English and some parts in Maltese. Excellent, you know. we have a tendency not to use our language, which is the strongest asset. And even Malta Pops, the fact that that they use Maltese is excellent. Also, again, I noticed once again, guys, go through your subtitles, because I'm sorry, I'm really pissed off at certain mistakes that I'm seeing on screen. We have no excuse, all right? Let's not be lazy. Headache written without any. I mean, I understand that you'll be focusing on too much, but at least have it, show it to someone else and say someone that he's a stickler for grammars,
Yes.
show it. Because it shows that you again. You are. It's not going to be like it's not going to be a huge issue. No, I'm sorry. It's a huge issue for me.
It is. Marisabelle, what do you think about Slightly Off?
I loved it. I mean, starting from the storyline, it's a relatable storyline. We are all the main character at some point or other. At least, this person she's not the Instagram model. She's the opposite of that. And to be honest with you, I felt myself in that person. So, beautiful cinematography. I have to say it was truly inspiring to me. Really loved it. It's a movie that I want to watch again. And also to hopefully get inspired for whatever else I create in the future, because it's that kind of movie that you're like, okay, this is something I'm gonna learn something from as well, not just the stories, not just the settings, and the actors are great, but there's more to it, and I loved it in that way. Yeah.
Franco, want to add anything to Slightly Off?
So I was going to say I think this is a debut feature as well, right? By CC.
For CC, yes.
Yes. So
I believe so. Actually, I'm not sure. I mean, this is the first film I've watched by her. Let's put it that way.
I think it's her first movie.
Yes. No,
okay,
really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Excellent debut. Excellent concept. Excellent cinematography. Jonathan Beckman winning cinematography award, well deserved. Frances Gallia, great actress, very expressive face. Ulrich Allison as the narrator, couldn't glove hand fit, perfect. Unfortunately, if I were the judge, this is a particular kind of comedy which is not popular, and I totally got the comedy. It's very sort of existential. If I had to make a comment also, the storyline felt a bit flat because there was no change, in the sense I would have seen more conflict between the narrator. It's like I would have seen a bit more Frances' characters fighting her fates. No, fuck you, I'm not going to go through the same motions this day. I'm going to try to make something different.
But isn't that the point, Franco? I thought that was the whole point.
Wait, let me cook. Because the whole point then would be made at the end, that she tries, and then the next day we hear the narrator starting with the same thing. You see, there is a bit of more. It doesn't. Again, like I said, I understood the concept, but it would have made it a bit more enticing where there's a bit of conflict between the character and the narrator. So the character is like, fuck this narrator, I'm going to do my own stuff, and then. Even if at the end, and then at the end, the narrator still wins, because the narrator starts the next day, she goes through the same motions, and it's like.
I think it would be a different film from this one, though. In that case, then it would change, because here the whole point is how pointless it is, how there's no fighting this day-to-day routine. So,
but listen, it's
existential crisis. Existential crisis. I mean, 101.
No. It's but you have to be careful, because this is something I got from a producer. And I saw it in one of my works, because I tried to do something similar where it's pointless to fight. It's almost like taking action which is pointless, and I understood why. So if there was a bit of more escalation, it might have made it more enjoyable, because it's still at the end if the narrator is going to say his own things, and the character will follow through these things. it still puts the point forward that all these decisions are pointless at the end of the day for her. Agree to disagree, by the way. Again, close. This is right. At the end of the day, like I said, this was one of my favorites as well, as far as concept, cinematography, story, acting. But since this is a comedy festival and the audience reaction is really important, it for me, it pained me not to hear much more reaction from the audience because it was a very excellent short.
The problem, Franco, is on this kind of like reaction is that for me, if you had to tell me, this is not the kind of humor that's going to get like big laughs in the cinema.
Yes.
This is and clear they're not trying to go for that. CC isn't trying to go for that clearly. I love this kind of humor though. Like if you had to ask me what kind of humor I enjoy, this kind of really depressing day-to-day stuff which brings out chuckles out of you. That for me is my ideal humor.
No, this is Spike Jonze humor, Spike Jonze style of humor. I would call it. No, I love it. I love it too. But again, like if I were judging, it was going to be a bit controversial
because this is what we were talking about before. This element of sadness behind the humor. And here it really works. Yes. For me, it really works. I'd love to hear what Cici has to say about what you said. Maybe we'll have this discussion when next we see her.
Defend your work, Cici. Defend your work.
Yeah, but really good stuff. Really well shot. Oh, so beautifully composed. The images, man.
Jesus Christ.
The images were so well composed the other day.
And the limited amount of space that they had.
Yes.
Oh my!
But they took full advantage of that. That was part of the whole narrative thread of it all, which is great. Which is great to see them take advantage. Shall we leave yours last, Franco, and do
No, please go for it. I don't want what last. It's not save the best for last. Come on.
But we'll do yours, and then we'll do who killed the laughter.
Who killed the laughter? Yes.
So, Clairvoyant, Marisabelle, want to go, or Franco? I want to comment about it before we start. Actually, comment about it before we start.
No, there's no. You go first, guys, because even there's the writer as well waiting on it as well. So we'll go for it, guys.
Okay, Marisabelle, want to start or shall I start? Go for it.
As you tell me,
because you haven't spoken for a while.
Okay. Sure, no problem. So I have to say that I really enjoyed the script. I really found the script to be very interesting. Great casting. There's great chemistry between the actors, and you also see the changes within the character development, and I really loved that. And what I really appreciated from the story, apart from it being very, very funny, the fact that there is a tension, the fact that there's a problem, the main character has a problem and he's trying to solve it in an unorthodox way, and then everything that develops after that. But what I really loved about it was a good opportunity. The script was so strong that it gave the actor an opportunity to shine. And I have to say, that is the best kind of script that an actor would want to work in. And in fact, Jeanette, she had an amazing script, an amazing opportunity to give her, to give her acting. And I really loved her rendition. In fact, she did win the Best Actress. And it was a no-brainer. She did a great job. And it was a wonderful work all throughout, from everyone. From script to filming to story, location, everything.
Yes, for me.
I'm laughing. No, I'm laughing because I remember how her process was. Because while the voice I did for the ghost, that was I put the mic on myself, and I was saying the lines while I'm filming it as well.
Chill, Madonna.
Yeah,
I burst out laughing when I was watching it at home here when I heard your voice. I didn't know it was yours. Frank, I had no idea it was yours.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I had no idea it was yours. And honestly, I know probably no one's going to believe me, but as I was watching it, I was laughing a lot. I had no idea it was yours. So So
Okay.
I had decided it was the one for me. It was my favorite. Before I knew it was your, I recognized your voice. Of course, I heard the Shil Madonna. Oh, I was going to cry. I was crying in my room as I was watching that.
So script and story were really funny, beautifully executed too. This one needed original laugh-out moments, and this was Laura said this was her first main role, Jeanette's. And she was so nervous, but she did amazing. Yeah, I was a bit of a strict director as like again screwing to get her most. She did amazing, and to the point that we're gonna work together again. So haha, take care all of you. So no,
Jeanette was a no-brainer, like for best actress. Like it wasn't even a debate for me. Like it was her and only her. Like there was no other option for me.
Yeah, you definitely were, but in the best way. Thank you, Laura. Okay. But I have to do some. I have to
let
say
me give my comments first, Franco, before you give yours.
Go
so
you
hear mine first, and then let us know. So I agree completely with Marisabelle about the writing. I think Laura Chandler's script was excellent. I think probably. What is my favorite script? I think so. I think it was my favorite script from all the shorts. Yeah, I think it was my favorite script, because the arc was excellent, really excellent. Like the 3 acts were there, really worked really well. And I agree completely with Marisabelle that it gave both Bernard and Janet and Edward Thorpe and all like free reign to go for all those humorous moments that we had. Really good stuff. So really excellently written. Great performance. Oh, Janet was so good. Like Janet was brilliant. Brilliant.
Bernard is right as well. He said she had to learn her movements by heart during the Maltese dialogue.
Okay. How's her Maltese?
She knows the bad words now.
She
knows the word nittin as well.
Something that I would like to commend is Edward Thorpe's accent as well, because he did a very good Russian accent.
Yes,
so
he did. Yes, he did.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yes, I agree. So overall, this was my favorite. Like I don't care if it was Franco or not Franco. Like I have to admit, this was the one which got the most laughs out of me. I thought screenplay wise, this was my favorite as well. Great lines. Bernard and Janet worked off each other so well. They really played off each other really well. Like, and by the end, you can tell that like they've built kind of like this kind of relationship right between the two of all the shit they're going to come up with this clairvoyance that they've discovered. So it was my favorite. I enjoyed it a lot watching it on my own. I don't laugh a lot when I'm watching these kind of like shorts on my own. But with Clairvoyant, I'm sorry, I was crying laughing in a lot of scenes. So yes, so I really enjoyed it. Franco, what do you think about your Clairvoyant?
One main thing. This will be. I promise myself this will be the last time I will do directing, acting, sound, filming, editing, because I cannot any longer. I mean, and even seeing how seeing other movies, but how much. I mean, okay, I'm not to diminish my work. It looks good, but seeing other movies, having much more, so to speak, resources to work with, it's time for me to take a step back and let others take over. So at least right now, with the way things are going, I'm happy to be working with some teams. I commend Laura as well for her being open to change some places here and there, because I told her like there was that tension moment which originally wasn't there, where where the connection is broken, and there's a moment where it's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is he going to go after her? By the way, also, because I always forget to mention Edward Thorpe, great Russian. Great Russian character. There's also the fact that he gave us the line, "You will have a ding, but no dong." That was
so good.
it went down so well in the cinema that again a
Yes,
great
yes, yes.
comment. Even and it's unfortunate because he had a small part, but to have his arc also go from a tough guy to a small little
Yes, yes,
child
yes,
when his
yes, yes.
grandmother came through. Yeah, this is why I said about the Maltese because I wanted to create it creates even more like conflict because there's this little Liverpudlian woman like trying to scam the Maltese guy, and the Maltese guy who's like rough, but at the same time he has a bit of sweet moments as well, you know, when he goes, oh, like we had fun. Also have getting shocked on set proved quite an addition, by the way. Uh, yeah, but I'm happy. Well done, Bernard. Well done, Jeanette. Like we were saying, in fact, that if Jeanette didn't win, I'm not gonna lie, I would be heavily disappointed if Jeanette didn't win. Because it is true what Bernard said. She learned, she gave her 110%. And
Yep.
again, I'm looking forward to work with them again, and also with the other team as well.
Very
I'm
much.
being fake, so that's so
Good
guys.
stuff, good stuff.
Again, keep it up. All
Who
right.
killed the laughter? Guys, we need to rush this because it's 20 to 36
Yes.
and I need to stop like an hour ago.
Um,
Who killed the laughter? Franco, want to
I'm
finish off?
I'm gonna start. It was a great concept. I know what went awry, and hopefully, like I said, I think this could have gone. I wished this went more down the route of Charlie Chaplin. Not copy it. I mean, it's like it could have gone down the route of Charlie Chaplin's Great Dictator. You know, with if they could have gotten more of the old. Um, like make reference to the old movies, you know, like I said, not the noirs. Chaplin, for example.
Yes.
What else?
Buster Keaton, maybe?
Buster Keaton, yeah. Well, you know those. You can have great compositions with those movies as well. Um, Again, because the concept was great. That the fact that this guy like stopped laughter because of what happened. Um,
If you're
it
going
was
for
a great
social
concept.
comedy, Ernst Lubitsch, maybe you can do as well.
Yes, Ernst Lubitsch.
That
You're
guy's
right.
got great compositions.
But I know again, like I know what went wrong. It was unfortunate. Because there was a good team, like you know Bernard, there was Bernie Grech, Edward as well directing. Jackman as well being the guy who makes basically breaks the laughter. Obviously but it's not that I'm not going to comment. It could have been much better, but unfortunately, it is what it is.
Marisabelle, what do you think?
But it seems like Franco knows something more than me when it comes to.
Yeah.
So I feel whatever I will say will be like half baked. Maybe you
No,
can.
we
I
can
don't
only
know.
comment about what we saw on screen. Marisabelle, me personally.
So what
Like I said, because it's I know what went wrong. Like I know what went wrong with yours as well, Marisabel. So
Mhm.
you know what I mean. So I understand what held this movie back, and
Mhm.
it sort of makes me difficult to be like, oh, this was bad, this was bad, this was bad. So I cannot pin all the responsibility on all of the team because much of the team gave their 100%. But a story for another time.
So I have to say that I mean from what I appreciated is the fact that there was a very good actors list, and of course very talented and all know what they're doing. But I don't know what went wrong, so I don't know how to comment. Well, what I can say, I appreciated the. I thought it was like someone's first movie. Who made this movie?
Janie. No. You mean who made this movie?
Yeah, who directed it?
Director
Edward.
Edward Thorpe was the director.
But it's not his first movie. He's a good
No.
director, so I don't know. No, because what you mentioned, I feel, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, just
And even and like Laura said, Bernie put a lot in.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
can imagine.
There is a killer team behind this.
Yeah.
I love the concept. I really, 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 really love the concept, and I love the whole idea of this. Who killed? You should just comment on the show. Yes, that's what I'm going to do, Bernard. I love the whole concept. I love the idea of the short story. But I found it disappointing, I have to say. For the quality behind the camera and in front of the camera, I found it a little disappointing. I thought it would be funnier. I thought that the social commentary would be much sharper. Seeing what the film was going for, I expected much better. Again, I'm not saying that it's a bad film per se. I don't think it's a bad film. I think it still had its good elements. I think that still we got a good performance by Bernard. I think that for example, with the whole Nicholas Jackman sequence, when you've got such a talented actor who can do humor so well, I would expect to be laughing out loud in that scene. And not just, okay. Like, you've got Nick Jackman. Like, who better than to do that humorous moment and to have everyone laughing out loud with the whole Madonna, the biggest dickest sequence kind of.
Yeah.
I could see the reference there, but the biggest dickest sequence has me crying every time I watch it. No, I expected better, and I'm being a little harsh on this one because I know the team behind it, and I know the quality in front of and behind the camera. Now, again, I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I have no idea. I can only comment about what's on the screen. And from what I saw in front of the screen, there's still a decent film there, but I expected much better. Much better. With the concept you had here, I would expect to be challenging for top 3 films. With the concept, because it's a great concept. So yeah, I found it a little disappointing, if I have to be completely 100% honest. And again, no hate to anyone. Again, I am being this harsh because of how talented you are. And
Exactly.
And I've seen stuff by all the people I'm seeing on screen right now, all the names here. So yes, so still a decent watch. I didn't hate watching it, anything but. I even on my own, I enjoyed watching it. But unfortunately, I didn't find it that funny. That's another problem. I didn't find it that funny. Franco.
What I was comment is I would have gone full black and white and like remove all the color because the color felt very saturated, almost.
But there was a narrative point for it, right? Because then, of course,
for sure. Again, personally, I would feel if it would have gone like full black and white and remove all the color, it would have worked better once the color is revealed. It would have been had much bigger impact. And it's like I said,
of a video game. There was a video game where the areas which were dominated by the Nazis were in black and white, and when you would free the area from the Nazis, it would turn into color.
There's also Pleasantville as well. Pleasantville is a great example as well of color coming into a black and white world. Bernie Grech. Listen, Bernie. Also, I would have to comment Bernie Grech because she was also one of the marshals. This comes from all actors, and because so it's not just you. This thing, there's a moment where we tend to go into performance mode. So even the voice sounds a bit too theatrical. So try to also listen to yourself when you're rehearsing your lines, because I can feel you have a great intention as far as acting goes, which I can see, but then the voice comes out as very theatrical. And again, but this comes with experience and also having like no, it just comes with experience. But also make sure about that, because even on another work which I worked with as well, you have a like even the motions and the good intention, I can see it, but then the words like how should I say, the words when once the words are spoken, it comes out as theatrical. That's what I was going to say. And then, like I said, oh yes, there's Simone, and Jace. Well done, Jace, as well, because that's another place where Jace was in it, and that was a great touch as well. Like, oh my God, there's some good tension in there.
Yes, that's the
But
thing. That moment with the kid, that was a very good moment because that's where exactly you build the tension, and then you want to break that tension with the humor, right? In the
Yes,
whole
yes,
Nicholas
yes.
Jackman scene. But that's where I found it very disappointing. It didn't make me laugh. It felt like I was supposed to laugh in that whole sequence, but I didn't find it funny at all. No, there were no lines which were laugh out loud in my opinion, and I think the reaction in the cinema also showed that, to be honest. Guys,
Um,
shall we
that
end it here? I think
we can end it here.
we're good.
One
Bonanza.
last thing, if
Marisabelle, go
there
for
is
it.
Mike's little teaser of Creep, no?
Yes,
For
yes,
next.
yes. Mike's teaser, Creep.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yes,
Yes,
that was
yes,
funny.
yes,
Uh,
yes. That's going to turn into a film. Is it going to be a film or?
I
no,
have no idea.
that's a tradition of Mike's, that he'll be filming something, because he also did it with Marisabelle's. They'll be filming something, and when the downtime, he does this like short trailers.
Okay.
On Marisabelle, he did one like he was like making fun of art house movies. In this one, he made like a horror short using Bruce's. Unfortunately, Bruce is going to be typecast as the creepy guy again.
Yes, no, Bruce is the creepy guy. I want to see that though. I want to see that in Video Nasties, to be honest. So maybe if Mike has the time, he should try to make the creep. Good
Guys,
stuff.
I actually have something to share if it's all
Go
right
for it.
for
Go
you.
for it, Mela.
Because I actually saw it like an hour before the Ad Lib Podcast started, like very recently. I received an email regarding, I'm sending it out to film festivals.
Yes.
And I was like waiting, and I was telling some friends I didn't receive any acceptances or anything. One was actually not accepted. And finally, I just got the good news that I got accepted to one film festival at the Prague Film Festival. I'm so excited. Yeah, and I was accepted for the Prague Actors and Filmmakers Film Festival for short. So in June,
Let's go.
yeah, it's gonna
Excellent.
be shown. We're
Great
super
stuff.
excited.
Great stuff. Proset. Really big well done. Big well
Thank
done,
you.
Marisabelle.
Thanks.
Proset. Good stuff. Proset. And with that happy news, I think we can end the podcast unless you have anything else to add, guys.
No, that's it. It
Thank
was
you.
A Lord
A
of the
great
Rings.
pleasure
A
to
Lord
be
of the
here.
Rings of a podcast.
Yes.
Proset,
Thank
guys.
you for hanging out. Thank you everyone for listening to us shit on your product.
Yes.
No, guys,
And you're free
we
to
are-
say our opinions are shit as well.
Exactly. No, we are here. We're not, obviously, the Ad Lib Podcast thing is it's just to give you constructive criticism. We are an excellent community. I feel like the fact that we have Video Nasties and this one, and there's also Zvog, keeping the local community alive and working. It's just on doing stuff for other productions, for foreign productions, and coming up with so many original ideas is amazing. This and I'm not joking here. When I came back, I was actually it took a bit of it took a bit of time to appreciate that these festivals are keeping the community alive
100%.
and they're fostering a great community. So well done. And it gave me hope. So keep it up, guys. Looking forward to see what you're up to with Video Nasties. Do also consider other places, festivals, like there's the Gozo Film Festival, there's the Zero to Hero Film Festival, there's also now short films on big screen, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Do watch Ciao Ciao, give your support to Kunsil Lokali, and okay, enough. I'm not gonna yap anymore.
Marisabelle, closing remarks?
I think we should give our kudos to Richard as well for organizing the April Fools Film Festival.
Yes,
because,
yes. Kudos to Richard as well.
I mean,
100%.
Because he's creating the motivation to keep going. It started first with Video Nasties, and now we have April Fools, and now he's gonna keep on going and going. It's a cycle of creativity, and it's good.
Yeah. And thank you for giving me the honor of choosing Best Actor and Best Actress at the festival. It was a pleasure, guys.
I'll revolute you the €100 then.
Yes, thanks. And I'm still waiting for Bernard's, to be honest, as well.
Oh yes, it's true. Bernard's and Janet. Don't forget to revolute.
Janet didn't
Andrea
need
as
to pay me. She was still good.
well. All right.
Prozac, guys, thank you to all the viewers and listeners. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Join us next week. God knows what's coming out next week. I'm so busy. Like going to the cinema has become like an impossible task for me. But I'll try to go.
We're gonna if you want to. I'm going at 4:30 to watch Chow Chow tomorrow. So
no, tomorrow's impossible. Tomorrow's impossible.
Okay.
I can't come tomorrow.
But Chow Chow next time. So
Yes,
hopefully,
yes,
and I'll
yes,
let
yes.
that's going on. So please go watch it, and I'll have my review ready next week for
Yes.
Chow Chow.
So see you guys next week for Chow Chow.
Chow Chow. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, guys. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.